Alrighty. Yeah. It looks like my brother Bergen Paris. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. I'm glad that you are here. Yeah, I am late, big time. I'm late. But you know what they say, better late than never. Is the fan too loud in the background? Okay, I'm just gonna hold on for just a little bit. And I'm going to say peace and blessings, Mishpaka. I'm very glad to be back with you. I know this is more like early afternoon instead of Shabbat morning coffee. I did want to get on and just kind of give you an update as to what's going on. Um, I was really trying to get on at our regular time. I really was. It's just that one thing after another popped up, and I was not able to resolve a number of issues. So I was not able to do what I wanted to do. I was not able to get back into the studio. I can't bend my leg, I can't drive, can't do anything, can't do steps. But I am improving. All praises to the Most High. I am improving. I am doing better, doing much better. I am yet and still in pain, but it is less pain than before. But at the same time, hey, I'm doing good. I couldn't when this first happened. I could not move my leg an inch without being in severe pain. So now the update is things are a lot better. They are getting better and betterer. I came from the doctors yesterday. All praises to the Most High. I do not need surgery, do not need a cast. So looks like we're seeing light at the end of the tunnel. So I don't know why they say at the end of the tunnel. It's the beginning for some. Want to give a shout out. Glad to see Breezy's girl. Peace and blessings to you. Glad for my day one brother. Yes, none other than Bergen Paris. I'm glad that you're here, my brother, as well. I'm glad for your Miyahu Yisrael. Yes, glad that you are here. I already mentioned Breezy's girl. And perhaps when others recognize that, you know what, that I really am on this late, yeah, maybe they will hop on, right? Maybe they will hop on with us. That would be great. I didn't want to wait this long to come on. In fact, I wanted to be on last week, but all praises to the Most High. I'm here now, and so I am endeavoring to get back on a regular schedule. It's just been really difficult for reasons that you all understand. D'Lo is in the house. Peace and blessings to you, D'Lo. Peace and blessings to you, D'Lo. Glad that you're here. Let's see. So let me read. Can I read some of this here? All right, I think I'm caught up. So I wanted to really check in with everyone and let everyone know that I'm good. I really am. I'm doing good. I've been um, pretty much laid up for 2 weeks and wasn't able to really do much of anything. But now I am starting to become more mobile, starting to make things happen. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with that. Um, so what do we want to talk about? What do we want to discuss? I want to be able to share my screen with you. I don't know that I'm able to, but I do want to share my screen with you, and I do want to, as we can, get into some scriptures and get into the truth. All praises to the Most High. I want to say that we are um, continuing to be front, center, and present in it, helping to establish His will in the earth and to help join Israel together. Still on that, definitely. That's what we do. As I look around, Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to really come in close to read some of these comments. Let me see if I can make those bigger. I don't know. Okay, looks like I'm not able to make the chat bigger, but hey, we're gonna go ahead. And I want to say, oh, peace and blessings to Josh and Penny. Yeah, it took me a while to get on. It really did. It took me a long time. But peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Peace and blessings. May the Most High bless you on this day that we celebrate Shabbat. We honor the Most High. We exalt Him in all things. He is our truth. He gives unto us His word. It is written in Psalm 119 and 141 that His law is the truth. It is also restated again in verse 152 of that same chapter, reiterating the simple fact that His law is the truth. And so we stand upon His law, we stand upon His word. And by way of understanding, we know that people will call Him by many other names, but He desires that we call Him by His name. According to Psalms 68 and 4, His name is Yah, and we call upon Him. That is His name. We do not call upon Jehovah Jireh. Jehovah Jireh is not the name of the Most High, or Jehovah Yireh is not the name of the Most High. It's transliterated in English as Jehovah Jireh, but no, it is Jehovah Yireh, which means that basically He will see, right? Or even I will see the blessing of the Lord. But that is the name of a place. When you take a look at what happened when Abraham was actually sacrificing or going through the motions of sacrificing, his son Isaac, the promised one, you'll understand that the scriptures read that Abraham called the place Jehovah Yireh, or what we call Jehovah Jireh, which means He will hear. He will see. Looking at it, He will see, and they say, "Oh, it means He will provide." Oh, Jehovah Jireh, He's my provider, right? Well, He is our provider, but the Most High, He provides for us by means of our own produce. In other words, He blesses the works of our hands. In this particular case, when the Most High says that He is a provider, okay, this doesn't mean that He drops money bags out of the sky for us, but what it means is that He has blessed His system of produce and multiplication. He has blessed His system of produce and multiplication. What are you talking about? Well, contrary to popular belief, we work jobs, right? We receive money, and then we think that we're doing great. We think that we're doing a wonderful job, right? Well, when really the actual produce of what we are supposed to be producing has everything to do with the produce department in the supermarket. We are supposed to be those who are entrepreneurial in mind and heart. Every family should have their own niche. Every family should have their own thing, if you will. Every family should have their own thing that they offer the kingdom, okay, that they offer Israel. We are individuals that contribute to our community and to our society. We are a part of this nation. So with that being the case, I mean, the real produce is when you plant seed and you reap a harvest. Now, that's the Most High's system. That's His system to be able to multiply you and to bring you into riches, whether it be with cattle or whether it be with the actual produce. If you notice the blessings that we would even read in Deuteronomy 28. Let me go there real quick. I'm not able to share it with you on my screen, but if we take a look at Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? We can go ahead and start at verse 1 because the blessings are in verses 1 all the way through down to verse number 15. And notice what it reads. And it shall come to pass that if you will listen diligently unto the voice of Yahweh Eloheka, to observe and to do all His commandments, which He commands this day, Yah Eloheka, the Lord your God, will set you on high above all nations of the earth. Now, this involves us being brought in together as a people, as a nation, joining together as a nation of people, which is talked about in Daniel, the second chapter, the stone that was hewn out of the mountain. That's us, that's Israel. I believe it's Isaiah 60 that also says that we are the stone that's hewn out of the mountain. So we are definitely that, right? And so we are the blessed of the Most High. We are Israel. We are the nation. And contrary to popular belief, when the Most High blesses us and he develops his kingdom, it's not going to be some celestial city dangling in between the earth and the clouds. No, it is going to be the physical nation of Israel. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. So notice what it says, that he's going to raise us above all nations of the earth. Verse number 2, Deuteronomy 28:2, it reads, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if you listen diligently unto the voice of the Lord your Elohim. Blessed shall you be in the city when you conduct your business and when you sell your goods. And blessed shall you be in the field. The field is where you produce the goods. The city and the market is where you take your goods and you transfer your goods into wealth. The Most High has guaranteed us a blessing, that he would bless the works of our hands so that we would be able to take what he's given us. Listen, it's a part of the covenant. It's a part of his blessing for us to be able to take the work of our hands and to be rewarded for the work of your hands, and for you to enjoy the fruit of your labor. Listen to me, please. Listen to me, please. If you are right now working and struggling and you are not able to enjoy the fruit of your labor, then there are corrective measures that need to be taken. You're under some sort of correction where you need to tweak what you're doing. You need to reconsider your ways. You need to understand some things, because you and I, we are meant to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labors, the works of our hands, to not get it and then it be blown away, or your money's gone. You know, you turn around and all your money's gone, right? But the Most High has guaranteed that we would be blessed before him. Continuing to verse number 3, it says, blessed shall you be in the city, blessed shall you be in the field, right? And this is, again, this is your supply and demand. In the field, you supply the goods. In the city, you sell the goods, okay? Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your cattle, and the increase of your kind, which is another form of cattle, and the flocks of your sheep. So we are, listen, we're supposed to be wealthy. I'm not talking about, being in this just for a blessing. But the Most High guarantees that, you know what, if you follow my laws, statutes, and my commandments, then yes, I need you to expect to be blessed. I need you to expect a blessing. I need you to understand that I know how to bring blessings into your life. And so we, as Israel, we must expect it. Remember, please, I know we're so used to Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble. Yeah. Jeremiah, yes, we can go there, right? 30 verses 7-9. We're talking about Jacob's trouble. Oh, and only 2/3, only a third going to be left. 2/3 going to be. See, we can paint all of these doomsday scenarios, but you need to understand that the Most High has guaranteed you a blessing. He's guaranteed you strength. He's guaranteed you health. He's guaranteed you the ability to be blessed in everything that you put your hands unto. Okay? Everything that you put your hands unto is blessed. So you need to expect that. You need to lean on that. Okay? You need to put some energy on that. You need to thank the Most High for it, because that's what he said that he would do. He said that he would bless you coming in, and he'd bless you when you go out. And it says in verse 7, and Yah shall cause your enemies that rise up against you. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have enemies, right? But they're going to be smitten before your face. They're going to rise up before you, and you're going to watch them actually be struck down right before your face. They will come out against you one way, but they will flee before you 7 ways. In other words, they're going to look for 7 ways to get away from you after approaching you. Yah shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses, more than one storehouse, right? For all of your goods, for all that you have. We need to develop this mentality. We need to develop a mentality that says that we are Israel and we're blessed, and expect the blessings, okay? Legal blessings. It says that the Most High, he makes rich and he does not add any sorrow to it. Means that he doesn't cause you to sorrow, nor are you to bring someone else into a state of sorrow. So there is no sorrow to be had anywhere in the transaction. So the Most High wants you to know you don't have to cheat, you don't have to steal, you don't have to lie, you don't have to work on Shabbat. But hey, you can, if you so desire, you can be blessed by the Most High. And we believe that he is basically blessing us because we're diligent, right? Now, I know we're here in this captivity, and sometimes you do have to work on Shabbat. I know. And I hate it. I'm telling you, I hate it. I don't even like answering phone calls on Shabbat that's not related to our family, our nation, and the Most High. I don't like it. But nonetheless, let me keep going here. Verse number 9 reads that Yah shall establish you as a holy people. And by the way, in verse 8, you're going to have storehouses and land. Storehouses and land. Expect it. Believe it. Okay? Expect it. Expect it. Expect it. Demand it. Expect it. And watch the Most High make room in your life for it. You just have to cooperate with him. Okay? It reads here also in verse number 9 that he will establish us as a holy people unto himself, as he has sworn unto us. And also we keep his commandments and we walk in his ways. Therefore he shall establish us. And all the people of the earth shall see that we're called by the name of Yahweh, and they shall reverence you, right? They're going to be afraid of you. They're going to reverence you. Verse number 11, and Yah shall make you plenteous in goods, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your cattle, and in the fruit of your ground, in the land, hallelujah, which Yah swear unto thy fathers to give unto you. Yah shall open unto you his good treasure, right? His good treasure, the heaven, to give the rain. So listen, this is the treasure that the Most High is going to give you. Please understand this. Now, verse 12, I'm really honing in on verse 12. I wanted to get to this point right here. Yah shall open unto thee his good treasure. Stop. Think about it for a second. What is his good treasure? The heaven to give rain unto your land in his season. I want you to see the way that the Most High has guaranteed to bless you. Okay. He didn't say, hey, I'm going to give you my treasure. I'm going to open up the heavens and I'm going to shower down some gold coins, or I'm going to give you some greenbacks, or I'm going to have somebody, give you a credit card, or I'm going to have somebody, and by the way, that's not wealth. The credit card is not wealth. Neither is the credit card a blessing. It is not. Okay. It is not a blessing. It is an obligation. It is a link to indebtedness and slavery. So be careful with your credit cards, right? Be careful with your credit cards, because those credit cards are not a blessing. Okay. We know how it was for us back in the day, man. Our credit was so toe up back in the day when I was young and the kids were small. Credit was toe up from the floor up, right? I couldn't buy crackers on credit, but all praises to the Most High. He's changed things for us, and we've been diligent in his word, and the Most High is yet with us. So, hey, he will bless you, right? He will make you prosperous, and notice how he's going to do it. Verse 12, he's going to open up unto you his treasure, which is what? The rain unto your land in his season, and to bless all the work of your hands. The Most High's treasure is, one, giving rain unto your land, and to bless all the work of your hands, that you are doing. Okay. We don't have lazy citizens in the kingdom. Okay. We do not have lazy citizens in the kingdom. There is work to be done. Okay. And that's just simply the way that it is. But he's going to bless everything that we put our hands to. And the last clause in verse 12 reads, And you shall lend unto many nations, and you shall not borrow. Hallelujah. And Yah shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if that you hearken unto the commandments of Yah, your Elohim, which he commands you this day, to observe and to do them. Verse number 13 ends with the blessing. Okay. And verse number 14 is an admonition. Stay on it. Fulfill the will of the Most High. Keep his laws, statutes, and his commandments, because the rest of Deuteronomy 28, from 15 on down to 68, yeah, it talks about the curses. And, we've experienced a lot of that. But when you take a look here, let me do this. I'm going to go to Isaiah. I want to go to Isaiah. I believe I want to go to 65. Let me take a look at 65 here. And I want you to see something here. I just want you to see something here, okay? As I scroll down, let me do this. All right, I'm going to start, for the sake of brevity, I'm going to start at Isaiah 65, okay, and 25. I'm going to start right there. Isaiah 65 and 25. Notice what it reads. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together. So we're talking about the end time, right? The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith Yahweh. They will not destroy in all thy holy mountain. Look at verse number 21. Go back up to verse number 21. And they shall build houses. See, I told you there's work to be done in the kingdom, because it's a physical kingdom. Okay? It's a physical kingdom, and there's work to be done. They shall build houses and inhabit them. You're going to build houses and inhabit your own houses. Okay? And you shall plant a vineyard, and you are going to eat the fruit of them. In other words, the Most High is going to bless you to be able to receive the reward and the works of your own labor, right? Verse 22, they shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. Okay? For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. So this is what the Most High has in store for us. He has in store for us that, that we're no longer exploited. We're no longer dogged out. We're no longer taken advantage of, but rather we are here and able to enjoy the fruit of our labor. Enjoy what the Most High has blessed us to do. The point that I want to make is that the kingdom of the Most High, it is a place where work will be done. And it is a place where, listen, I know we thought we were going to be laying on clouds and eating grapes, okay? Eating grapes on clouds, the little fat babies with the little butterfly wings are going to come by and play a harp for us every now and then. No, that is not what the Most High intended. That is not what the Most High declares is his will for us. It is a physical kingdom. It's a place where we can stand and work and receive the fruit of our labors and enjoy it with long life. Enjoy it with long, long, long life. And we will be restored back to living a life of longevity where we live hundreds of years. Okay? Where we live for hundreds of years. Man, there's so many people here. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I know I'm on late. I just wanted to stop in and give you guys an update. Peace and blessings to Joshua and Penny. Peace and blessings to our senior moderator, Bergen Paris. Peace and blessings to Breezy's girl, Repentant and Saved, is in the house. D'Lo is also in the house. Soprano Jesse, peace and blessings to you, my sister. You're in the house. Alrighty. Who else? Where I'm at right now, the writing is so small. Yirmiyahu Yisrael. Yeah, peace and blessings to you. The writing is so small until I can't really see. My brother Adrian, a black man, is here. Peace and blessings to you, my brother. So I am still on crutches, and I am still, but I am becoming more and more mobile. Okay, I am becoming more and more mobile. So shalom to you, repentant and saved. Okay, I'm just looking, making sure. Okay. Well, I wanted to hop on and I wanted to let you know that we're going to be doing things just a little bit differently. One update is that we're going to have segments on our Shabbat morning coffee. We're going to have segments. Now, one of the segments that I want to have is going to be a segment that talk. I want to get into the different parts of living a Hebrew life, and I want us to be able to grow in those areas. I a lot of times I have on my battle fatigues, and I'm going toe to toe with someone either on Facebook or I'm going toe to toe with someone in different scenarios and different situations. And a very wise and beautiful person asked me a question, and they asked me this simple question. They said, we know that Christianity is what it is. We know that Christianity is wrong. We know that Christianity is idolatry. But what do I do now? How do I live this life? And what is the difference? What is the difference between, what we're supposed to live? What's the difference between that and Christianity? And I really did appreciate that question. I really did. I really did appreciate that question, because for me, it meant that I need to focus on, even for you, family, I need to focus on how we live the Hebraic life, the Hebraic walk. So this is what I intend to do. We're going to change the format of Shabbat morning coffee. It is going to have some segments, right? Of course, it'll have an answering question segment. It's going to have segments where we talk about different topics, right? Where we talk about things of interest. We talk about benefits and blessings for us, or things that we need to do, how to live this life. But on Wednesdays, Yah willing, on Wednesdays, I want to begin to go through a particular book in the Tanakh, go through it chapter by chapter, and really expound upon the truth and really learn some things and grasp, a bigger picture of the Tanakh. Okay. Now, here's the question. We can start with any book, right? We can start with any book. However, I want to hear from you all. If on Wednesdays, if you want to start at Bereshit or Genesis, or if you want to start from another book. Okay. I want to go where we feel like it's needed the most. I want to go where it's needed the most. So, what do y'all think? What do you think? Do you think that we should start with Genesis, or do you think that we should start with Exodus? Do you think we should start with Isaiah? Do you think we should start with Psalms, Job? I don't know. I want to hear from you all, though. I want to hear from you. So. All right. My sister says Yehoshua, known to others as the book of Joshua. Okay. Daughter of Almighty Elohim says, can we start with Exodus 20? All right. Who else? Kanaya Israel, peace and blessings to you, my sister. I pray that you and your husband are well. Yeah, Shabbat Shalom. So, which book do we want to start out with? Okay, which book do we want to start out with? We know that there's some deep things in any of the books that we would choose, right? There's definitely going to be some deep things in there. Um, with that being the case, so far our suggestions is the book of Yehoshua or Joshua, also the book of Shemot, the book of Exodus, beginning with chapter 20. Now, I just, for my sister who said, hey, start with chapter 20, I just finished a series on the commandments where I went through the commandments 1 through 10. And you're able to check that out. You really are. You're able to check that out because that is what Exodus 20 is all about. Okay, taking a look here, taking a look. One of the things, family, I did not want to be away from you guys too long. I really didn't. I didn't want to be away from you too long. So I hope that I can get back to the studio before long so that we have our normal setup, our regular setup. Until then, we're trying to do what we can here to keep it moving. So, all right. So far, I have only 2 suggestions. Okay. I've got Exodus 20 and I've got the book of Joshua. Does anyone else want to suggest? Anyone else want to suggest? Yeah, Hanaya, hey, I'm going to tell you, in the beginning of this, it was really rough. I could not be comfortable no matter what I did, but things, all praises to the Most High, things have definitely gotten better. I'm not taking a lot of the medications, right? I will every now and then, but I'm not taking the medication as they perhaps would like me to. Okay, I like to do things naturally as much as possible, but I do color outside the lines every now and then. I really do. So yeah, I am feeling better, and I am more mobile. Okay, so it is getting better, my sister. It is getting better. Now, am I going to pick up some roller skates after this is all over with? Am I going to pick up some roller skates? Right now, the jury is still out on that. I need to feel a whole lot better before I think about some roller skates. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Repentant and Save says, I've been praying for you, and thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, I have needed it. I have needed it. I've needed it. Because, yeah, this is something that I'm not into this whole, broken leg crutches thing. Daughter of Almighty Elohim says, many have been stating we can no longer keep God's 10 commandments due to being in captivity. Okay. That's why I wanted to know if we can go over them. Okay. I understand. There is not. Okay. Now let's keep in mind something. Deuteronomy 4 and 13 gives us an understanding of the 10 commandments as actually being a covenant that the Most High made with us at Mount Horeb. And please understand, at that particular time, there was no temple. Israel was in transition. Okay. They were in between being slaves and coming out of that and becoming a nation, right? So when you really think about it, Exodus 20 fits us to a T, because those of us that are here in exile, we're in transition, right? We're being challenged on every end, sometimes physically and spiritually. We're being challenged on every end. And so bottom line of it is Exodus 20 really does fit our scenario, because again, they did not have a temple. Now, they did have a tent of meeting. Okay. If you want to be really technical about it, they did have a tent of meeting that came about, okay, after Exodus 20. Okay. From Exodus 20 all the way through to Exodus 25. And then, of course, it continues even through Exodus 27. We find where it's talking about the temple and how to do this and how to do that and so forth and so on. But the temple of meeting came to be, it came to be in existence, if you will, during that particular time, beginning with Exodus 20, okay, as the beginning of that. So the covenant that the Most High made with us is the beginning of the tent of meeting, okay? Now, that is significant because the tent of meeting is connected to covenant, our covenant with the Most High, and our covenant of the Most High is connected with the tent of meeting. The reason why that is significant is because right now we do not have a temple, okay? We do not have a tabernacle, a temple. We don't even have a tent of meeting. So what does that mean for us, and how do we negotiate? Well, again, I would point your attention to, I believe it's Hosea 14:2, that talks about, we're going to spend many days without a temple, without a priest, without an ephod, without a teraphim, without our own national banner. Yeah, we are going to spend a lot of time without all those things. And it's in those times that we're yet to keep the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, but we offer up, as it says, the calves of our lips. Or is that 13:4? I'll have to get that. Okay. And we'll have to go there just a second to read the scriptures real quick. Let me get it. All right. Okay. 13:4 is a different passage of scripture. And all right, let me go to in Hosea 14:2, as I mentioned, that we're to take the words, the calves of our lips, right? That is now the sacrifice. We do not have a temple, and we are to be yet and still obedient to the law, statutes, and commandments, even while we're in this state of transition. Now, let me hit this real quick. Because in Deuteronomy, it tells us something very interesting. Let me read it. I'm going to read Deuteronomy 4:1. And this is going to help us because my sister said, well, people say that we can't keep the 10 commandments because we're in exile. Okay. I want you to read this. I want you to see this with me. Deuteronomy 4th chapter, first verse. It says, now therefore hearken unto me, or listen, Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them. That, notice, that ye may live and go in and possess the land. So in other words, the law is given to us, okay? Even specifically the law at Mount Horeb, the 10 commandments, that is given to us to keep us alive so that we could go in and inherit. Okay. And by the way, that inheritance, it is an inheritance of conquest, not, your great uncle Bubba died and he gave you a brand new Cadillac. No, it's not that kind of inheritance. This inheritance is, it's an inheritance in the sense that it comes to us from having been given to Abraham. We have a right to it. However, it is within itself a different kind of inheritance. It's an inheritance with obligation. It's an inheritance whereby we're going to have to be strategic. We're going to have to be militaristic in a sense. We're going to have to be a nation of people in order to receive this blessing. Okay, that's why we teach. That's why I teach. I am trying to help build the nation of Israel. Okay, I'm trying to help build. I'm trying to gather the Most High's people together. And I'm trying to help Israel. Peace and blessings to my sister that's here. Jacqueline E. Bugs is in the house. Jacqueline E. Bugs is in the house. Yes. So, as we continue, it's important for us to understand that we do have a covenant with the Most High, but The power is built into the covenant. Please hear me when I say this. This is what I love about the covenant of the Most High. His covenant, it's like a Swiss Army knife, if you will, in the spirit, if I can say that. Spiritually speaking, it's like a Swiss Army knife. Swiss Army knife, you know what it is? It's got scissors in there. It's got a blade for this, a blade for that. It's got a toothpick and some. In other words, it's supposed to be everything that you need. Okay, it's supposed to be everything that you need. And the thing about it is, the covenant will take whatever. Listen, this is so amazing to me. All praises to the Most High. The covenant will take whatever form and fashion it needs to in order to get the job done. The covenant, which comes from the Most High. The covenant comes from the Most High. And what did the Most High said? What did he say to Moshe? He says, look. When they want to know who has sent you, okay, tell them, Ehye Ashereye. Ehye Ashereye. Now, the King James Version puts that in the scriptures as, I am that I am. But that's not what that is saying. Ehye Ashereye is in the imperfect tense, which means that it is futuristic. What the Most High is saying, I will be what I will be. What do you mean? No, he's saying I will be what and whoever I need to be in order to get the job done. Okay? If you need a savior, I'm here to deliver you. If you need someone to bless your land, I'm here to bless your land. If you need someone to stand by your family and to be your protector, I'll be your protector. So he's not just a protector. He's not just a blesser. He's not just this or that. He says, look, hey, I'm fluid. I can be whatever you need me to be. And so the covenant that comes from him bears those same, oh my goodness, it bears those same attributes because everything produces after its own kind. The Most High, who is versatile, okay, who is merciful and loving, he has spoken and brought forth the covenant, and his character and his DNA is built into the covenant, so that even as he said, Ehye Asher Ehye, in other words, I will be what I will be who I need to be, okay? The covenant will also be what it needs to be. You want to go left, the covenant can address that. You want to do what's right, the covenant can address that. If you want to know about how to eat properly, the covenant can address that. What way should you dress? The covenant can address that. Whatever you need it to be, it will be for you. Okay? It is fluid, it is spiritual, it is dynamic, it is alive. Okay? In the Christian New Testament, where they have it in the book of Hebrews, 4th chapter, 12th verse, where it reads that the word of the Most High, it is quick and powerful, sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of body and spirit, soul, matter, joint, right? And is a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the hearts of individuals. Now, when that was being put into the general epistle of Hebrews, the old, listen, all they had was the Tanakh. They did not yet have the so-called Christian New Testament. All of those verses that you read in the Christian New Testament, where they talk about that the men of old wrote as they were inspired by the Most High, that's talking about the Tanakh. Okay? That's talking about the Tanakh. When it says that the word of the Most High, as I already mentioned, is powerful and sharp, that's talking about the Tanakh. And you know, as part of our foundation, you know, family, that we go over it all the time, how in Luke 24, verses 44 and 45, not even Yeshua ben Yosef, called Jesus by the Greeks and the pagans, not even he endorses the Christian New Testament. Okay? He does not even endorse the Christian New Testament. Right? So taking a look then and understanding the Most High has produced after his own kind, and what he has produced is a covenant. He has produced the Torah, and it can be whatever you need it to be. Okay. So at this time, you know what I want to do? Hey, I wanted to check in. I wanted to give you an update. I'm opening up for questions right now. Are there any questions in the house? Are there any questions? Questions going once, question going twice. And remember, if you want me to answer the question, you have to put at and then my name, Malkia, or at Moray, whatever. But you have to address it to me, because I know sometimes you guys have lots of interesting conversations in the chat room that I'm not necessarily a part of. My sister Jacqueline E. Bug says, blessings to you. I am so pleased to see you up and about. Yes, I am. Much love to you as well, my sister. Yes, I am up. I'm up. I'm up. I'm more agile. Listen, I'm not doing cartwheels yet. I'm not doing cartwheels yet. But hey, if I keep going like this, I will be back dancing before I know it. Let's see here. This is kind of difficult to see, but you know what? I can see my name. Hey, hey. Daughter of Almighty Elohim, daughter of Almighty God says, when were temples first built for sin offerings? When were temples first built for sin offerings? Yeah, thank you, my brother. Thank you, my brother. My brother Bergen Paris is reminding everyone, please put at and then my name. And that way I will be able to see your questions. So then taking a look here at this particular question, the question is when, okay? When did temples begin to be a place of sacrifice? Okay. Looking at, of course, as you know, the tent of meeting came before the quote unquote tabernacle. Okay. And I'm talking about the tabernacle, the later version of when the Most High instituted, or I should say, he allowed there to be animal sacrifices. Now, from the beginning of the temple itself, which again, it started with the tent of meeting, then it became the tabernacle, right? And it became a temple outright. And from, I believe it's chapters 25, 24 and 25 in Exodus, where we really begin to see the Most High saying, hey, let the children come together, let them bring forth the gold earrings, and let them give us an offering. And he tells them what to give, the kinds of wood that they're to give, the skins that they're to give, the colors that they're to make, so forth and so on. And so the Most High actually began dealing with the children of Israel concerning sacrifices. But now let me say this. Let me say this. It was a part. In fact, let me go back here and let me find the scripture for you. All right, give me just a second. I'm looking for this particular scripture. Look at Leviticus, the first chapter and the second verse. I'll start here. Ah, thank you. Thank you, my sister. Hit control and scroll slowly. Okay, let's see. Will that work? Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm trying to make the chat bigger on my end. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. Excuse me. All right. Looks like. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. All right. All right. Well, hey, I'll figure it out. I'll definitely figure it out. So yeah. Okay. Let me read this scripture. Okay. Leviticus chapter 1, verse number 2. Notice what it reads. Speak unto the children of Israel and say unto them, if any man of you bring an offering, if any man of you bring an offering, okay, unto Yah, he shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will. So the Most High is not saying, you know what, the temple, all it really was for was sacrifices. No. If you notice, when it came to Solomon, when he made the temple, or I should say, when he built that particular temple, Solomon said, "This is a house of prayer, not a house of sacrifice." Okay. It is a house of prayer, not a house of sacrifice. Now, it's true that the Most High does allow there to be sacrifices in the temple, okay? But this is also something that the Most High is going to establish more so when Mashiach comes, when the Messiah comes, and when he then actually establishes, or I should say reestablishes, the sacrifice and the covenant, okay, and where the Zadokian priests are put in office perpetually from that day forward throughout all eternity, okay. And that comes to us from the book of Ezekiel, where the Most High is going to reinstitute, okay, the sacrifices in the temple, but at that particular time, it is going to be fully and completely established. And I think that it's going to be established in a way that, of course, according to the Messianic age, it's going to take on a whole new different flavor. It's going to take on a whole new different, I'm trying to read the small print, sorry. It's going to take on a whole new different flavor. It's going to take on a whole new different role as far as we are concerned. Okay. Now, is that for a Mac? Okay, let me see here. Oh, there we go. Okay. I see what you're talking about now. Okay. All right. You're right. You're right. That sure did it. That sure did it. Thank you very much, my sister. Okay. My brother Gilbert is here. What's up? What's going on, Gilbert? Shalom, shalom, shalom. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. So my point is, and by the way, this is one of those points, if you will, that really establishes the end game for the Most High. The Most High is, listen, I'm talking about the Messianic age. I'm talking about what the Most High has in Scripture, what he intends for the end game to be. In other words, when it's all over, when the shooting match is over, what are you going to have? Well, Isaiah 65 tells us that basically the world is going to be a different place. There is going to be world peace, if you will, right? There's going to be world peace. It's going to even affect, listen, the peace is going to be so profound that it's going to change the nature, change the DNA, if you will. Because, by the way, you know that you can activate DNA, you can activate chromosomes, and you can activate DNA based upon your meditation, based upon your overall intention. I mean, you can actually turn on and turn off switches in your DNA. And the world peace And the knowledge of the Most High is going to be so powerful and so potent that it's going to affect the DNA of even the animals, where the animals themselves, where they will change and they will begin to eat straw. According to the scriptures, they're going to eat straw just like the cow does. They're going to eat straw and hay. And I'm talking about the lion and the bear, right? So that's going to affect them. Our DNA is also going to be affected to the degree that we will then have longevity, right? And when when a baby is 100 years of age, it will still be a baby, right? And the Most High said that our days are going to be like the days of a tree. But guess what? For those who are not following the law, statutes, and the commandments, their DNA will not be activated. Their DNA will not be changed. Switches will remain off. And when they are 100 years old, they will be accursed if they were to live that long and die. It's going to be like, man, that's a shame. Okay. So then, okay, I'm reading my comment from my sister here. My sister Jacqueline Bug says, yes, I agree. Speaking to my soul is very cleansing. It really is. And I must be at rest. Definitely, definitely. You do, and you can actually switch on and switch off receptors and switches within your DNA based upon what you decree to be your truth, which is for us the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High. Okay. Remember the water experiments of Dr. Emoto. Remember, right? He's the guy that put labels on bottles of water, right? Now this was just putting the words on the water, right? Just putting the words on the water. And then when they froze the water, in other words, when they caused the water to take a crystalline three-dimensional form based upon the energy of what was written on the bottle, of course, the water reacted, it responded, and it actually took on that energy. There's also something else about water that is really interesting. There was some doctors who were doing some experiments, and they were experimenting on these rats. Okay. Now what they did was they had some cyanide, and the cyanide was sealed in containers. Okay. Hermetically sealed, the whole nine. None of it got out. None of it leaked on anyone. It just simply, I mean, these were packets of cyanide, and in order to keep everything safe, they put it in water, right, so that it would be completely submersed, right, and nothing's going to break free. Well, here's what happened. The water took on, hear me please, the water took on the signature of the cyanide without it being cyanide. It remained water, but it took on the signature of the cyanide, the frequency, if you will. And when they gave the water to the rats died. The rats died because water absorbed the energy and the frequency, okay, of what was around it. You control and you program the water that is in your being, which, by the way, is 70, what do they say? It's 75 to 80% of us is water. Okay. I've heard different, I heard 70 to 80. I heard 75 to 80. Well, that being the case, you are water. What are you speaking over your water? What is the energy of your water? What is the vibration of your own personal source of water called you? What is that? Do you walk around negative all the time? Do you walk around mad all the time? Do you walk around angry all the time? Do you walk around not knowing and scratching your head and being confused all the time? Okay, you are generating that, right? And consequently, you are turning off and turning on different receptors and different switches within your DNA. This is why the Most High wants us to meditate upon his word. And this is why the Most High wants us. And by the way, the call-in line is not open right now, y'all. The call-in line is not open. Okay. I have to be in the studio for that call-in line to be open. Let me just double check something here real quick. Yeah. Yep. Call in line is definitely not open right now. But um, get yourself supercharged, right? And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by getting yourself supercharged? Okay. You have to listen. Here's okay. Let me let you in on this. Does anyone want to know how you can program your DNA and begin to turn on and turn off switches in your DNA? I'm talking about for the sake of working with the Most High and cooperating with the Most High. Okay. Vernon Arnold, peace and blessings to you. Shabbat shalom. I didn't see you sneak in. Who else did I miss? Who else did I miss? Okay. All right. So let me keep going. Let me keep going. Okay. Please keep in mind. You have to understand the original intent or the original plan of the Most High. Okay. He knew that we were 75 to 80% water when he created us, but guess what? He knew that we were 75% to 75 to 80% water when he breathed into us, and we became a self-regenerating energy house, bringing about his essence and his vibration and his energy. So we have the spirit of the Most High in us right now. Right now, the spirit of the Most High is what animates your body. This is why I take a look, and I say to people, they talk about the Trinity and they talk about the Holy Ghost. Listen. The spirit of the Most High that was breathed into you is holy. Okay. And you're just simply, listen, when it's read in Psalms 19, when it says that the law of the Most High is perfect, it says that it converts the soul. Now, that's a clumsy term based upon what's really there in Hebrew. In Hebrew, it says that it's going to bring us back to that original state of purity and power of being. That's what it's going to do for us. It's going to bring us back into that state of power, into our original state where he first breathed into us his spirit, and we became a living, moving, three-dimensional being. Okay. So the way, and by the way, we understand that life is in the blood, right? Leviticus 17. We understand that life is in the blood, and we understand that because we're 75 to 80% water, right? We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So much to the degree that if you listen, a lot of times we don't understand the power that the Most High has given us until we use it psychosomatically. In other words, you can think about something and actually make yourself sick. I've seen people do it, right? I've seen people talk themselves into being sick. I've seen people talk themselves into a number of different things that really didn't make sense, but that's just where their spirit was. And they were turning on switches and turning off switches to make that to become a reality, right? So then taking a look at it, the way that you switch on and switch off your DNA, okay? Okay, that sounds good. That sounds good, Vernon. That sounds good. The way that we turn on our DNA, turn on switches in the DNA, you first have to realize that whatever it is that you want to turn on, you have to realize that that is possible. Okay, that is possible, right? That is possible. There is nothing that is not possible. It is possible. It is possible for me to turn on a gene that heightens my metabolism, okay, and that gives me a different tendency when it comes to gaining weight or losing weight. I can turn on a switch in my DNA to increase the levels of testosterone. I can increase levels of anything in my body by turning on the right switches in my DNA. And here's how you do it. You have to understand that the spirit of the Most High that is within you is all powerful, is almighty. You cannot separate who you are as an individual from the spirit of the Almighty. I need you to hear that. I need you to hear that. I need you to hear that. You are a part of the Most High. You're created in his image and in his likeness. Okay. And think about this for a second. He said, I will be whatever I need to be. Well, guess what? You're saying the same thing when we look at your DNA and the fact that you can switch on and switch off certain things within your DNA. Okay. What you do is you first of all realize that it is the spirit of the Most High that is the source of energy that controls every switch within your DNA. You have to understand this. You've got to embrace this. That energy that you have within you, the spirit of the Most High, is the energy that controls the switches, that turns them on, that turns them off. Okay. And you have to, first of all, again, understand that all of these switches are in you and it is possible for them to be turned on. Okay. The second thing is you have to realize that the spirit within you, the spirit of the Most High, is able to turn them on and to turn them off. Now, this happens at a very deep level of consciousness, because what we don't realize and understand is that the Most High is living both with us, in us, and as us at the same time. Okay, I want to pause because I want that to sink in. The Most High is living with, the Most High is living in, because his spirit has been inbreathed into you. Okay. And he's also living as you. Yes, he's living as you. So here's some ways that you can begin to turn switches on, turn switches off. Okay. To not get too deep with it. Okay. You're actually talking about doing something to your physical body on a quantum spiritual level. I know that sounds deep. I know that sounds interesting, but you're talking about actually changing your body and bringing your body, your DNA, okay, bringing it into transition on a level of quantum spirituality. Now, what is this? This is where, okay, and see, and I don't want to get too deep here. But listen, I got to mention the string theory and I got to mention the membrane theory of quantum physics. Okay, I got to go. Listen, it's not going to be too crazy, right? Yeah. Soprano Jesse asked, like using light from the sun and frequencies. It is like unto that. Yes, it's like that. It's definitely like that, but not that in its entirety. Please understand that when we talk about the quantum level and we talk about spirituality, okay, and to be even a little bit, I don't want to be controversial with it. Let me just see if I can. Sorry about that. I had to move my chair. Looking at it, okay. The quantum level, the quantum level is where spirituality meets physicality. In other words, quantum physics is where the spirit world meets the physical world. Okay, now one of the first things you find out when you begin to look at things from the quantum perspective is that they say, well, matter, what is matter? Well, matter is made up of molecules. And you say, well, what are these molecules made of? Well, the molecules are made of atoms. Then they say, well, wait a minute though, because if that's true, then okay, then what are the atoms? And this is what they found out. They found out that the atom is 90%. 90% of the capacity of an atom is space, nothingness. Okay. The neutrons, and listen, I'm not going to get too deep with it, but just stick with me for a second. The smallest parts that make up an atom, okay, are so infinitely small. And when they looked at what these atoms are made of, they discovered that not only were they 90% space, 90% space, right? But the actual structure of the electron and the proton and the neutron was a level of energy, okay, that had a particular frequency. And this frequency is affected, listen, the frequency is affected and it responds. The frequency changes based upon who's doing the observing. If an individual is observing and expecting to see something physical, the energy acts as a particle, right? If you were to turn your head away from it, it would change into acting as energy, acting as a waveform. And I'm getting this from what's called the double slit theory. Okay. From the double slit theory, they realize that it's the observer that is controlling whether this energy takes on a physical existence and becomes a particle and that hits something like a BB or something or a marble, or if it remains energy and hits it as a wave of energy. It is the observer, the person watching and expecting, it is that individual that dictates how that particular thing is going to respond. Now, I said I didn't want to get too deep with it, and I'm not going to get too deep with it, but please understand on the level of quantum physics, okay, you have the energy and the frequency of your intentions and what it is that the Most High has given you to do. You embrace that. Listen. This is why you are to feel. Yeah, exactly, Soprano Jesse. The double slit theory. Yes. It's a double slit experiment, okay, that gave them lots of data, and this is what they came up with. So think about this for a moment. This is why with the Most High, when you all right, I'm gonna have to go here. You guys, I'm gonna have to go here. Because you're really talking about physical spirituality. The Most High, okay, gives us his name and he's given unto us his breath and breathed into us, given us his consciousness, and that is automatically reverberating at a certain level of frequency. The divine is the divine, the holy is the holy, and it has its own frequency. Hallelujah. Which is why if you're worried about somebody trying to put a curse on you, listen, the witch has got to mimic they've got to get a handle on what your frequency is. But guess what? Guess what? It's when you're negative and you're down and your frequency is low, they can connect to that. But guess what? When you're in the praises of the Most High and you have praises of the Most High on your mind, they cannot wade through those waters. They can't go there. They can't go there. When you embrace the praises of the Most High and you're just feeling, you actually feel the Most High and you're present with the Most High and you're sharing your heart with the Most High. Your mind, as you meditate upon the Most High and His Word, your mind begins to take on the frequency and the very spiritual DNA of the very heart and person that spoke the Word, which is the Most High. Language has the power. I've said this before. I'll say it again. When you learn an individual's language, when you learn a people's language, okay, you're entering into the spiritual DNA of the people. And you watch when they back when I was learning Spanish, and like they say, if you don't use it, you will lose it, right? One guy heard me speaking Spanish. He's like, I don't want you speaking my language. He's like, I don't want you to speak, my language. And he was upset. He was upset because he knew that if I spoke his language, there would be a connection between us. Because once again, the spiritual DNA of a people is first given in their language. Okay. But wait, there's more. Because if you're embracing the spiritual DNA of an individual like the Most High, by taking His Word and meditating upon His Word, your mind and your heart begins to operate on a frequency that is akin to the Most High, and there will be automatic changes that you will discover. Like, for instance, for those of you, listen, individuals who are thank you, yes, like speaking life to all things, definitely, Kanaya. So think about it for a second, and please understand this. There is something to be said. There's something to be said for the hedging that the Masoretes did around the Tetragrammaton and around the name of the Most High. They said, we don't want anyone to speak His real name. So they purposely put the Nakud, different Nakud in different places and in the wrong place, so that people would, number one, they would constantly not speak the true name of the Most High, but that also at the same time, they wouldn't take His name in vain. Okay. Now, the problem with that is, as you know, the Most High said, look, I want you to speak my name. I want you to speak my name. I want you to call my name. I want you to speak my name. Because notice what it reads in the scriptures. It says that His name is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, the frequency, the vibration of His name, the power that is in that vibration. Okay. We enter into that and we are saved. We're saved. We're safe. We're in a place of comfort. We're in a place of peace. We dwell underneath the shadow of the Almighty. We abide in the secret place of the Most High. We abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay. So as we begin to meditate upon the Most High, as we begin to meditate upon Him, we will discover, I don't know if I should say this like this, but I'm going to let the cat out the bag. When you are in supplication before the Most High, and oh, I don't know if I want to say it like this, but let me just say it this way. When you are in communication with the Most High, okay, and you are embracing what He said, Ehya Asher Ehya, I will be what I will be, right? I'm going to be what I need to be. That lets you know that the energy and the frequency and the power of the Most High that is being intoned as you speak his name and as you speak his word, it has the ability to go into that quantum level, that subatomic level of quantum physics, and change the frequency, change the energy signatures and the frequency of what it is that you're dealing with. In other words, you're injecting the right vibration and the right frequency into that situation as you speak to it, as you even feel, right? Listen, whatever you're giving to the Most High, you're supplicating, you're like, oh, this is, this is what I need. Listen, 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 listen. Stop going. Please hear me. Stop going out of need, but rather go out of the sense of knowing that you have received. Big difference. Big difference. There is a big difference. If you put out the energy that, you know what, I'm in the, oh, I need this. Oh, Most High, I need this. Oh, I need this, Most High. What you're saying is, I am in this, listen, I'm putting out this vibration of need. All it is need. I need this. I need this. And what that says is, one, you don't have it because you still need it, right? You're in a state of discomfort because you don't have what you need, right? But when you supplicate before the Most High, you come before the Most High, you understand, you know what? I am walking in the power of the Most High. I have his spirit within me. I have his power within me. And guess what? I'm going to speak into my situations. I'm going to speak the prophetic word of the Most High. Notice what he said in Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Let me get that real quick. Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. I want you to see how the Most High said, this is how I want you to interject my energy into that situation, okay? And let me okay, look, I'm going to read this real quick. I'm going to read this real quick. In Ezekiel 37, notice what's happening here. The hand of Yah was upon me, and I'm reading 37:1. Just listen to me, please. The hand of Yah was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahweh and sent me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were very many in the open valley. And lo, guess what? They were very dry. They were very, very dry. And he said unto me, which means they had no life in them. Okay, when it says that they were dry, it means that they just didn't have any life in them at all. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, Oh, Yah Elohim, you know, because I don't. He like, look, I don't, but you know. Verse number 4. And he said unto me, prophesy unto these bones. My, oh my. He's saying, I need you to speak to these bones. And when you speak the words that I'm going to give you, when you speak those words and that frequency comes out of your mouth and you intone it and you put that out there, you're going to be speaking to those bones. And since you're speaking to the bones, your energy is being directed at these bones which are not alive, right? But notice what happened. Verse 5, thus says Yah Elohim unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and you shall live, and I will lay sinews upon you, right? And I will bring flesh upon you. And the next thing you know, basically out of this prophetic endeavor, which is basically that individual speaking to the dead things around them, notice what the Most High said. You speak and I'm going to add. You speak, I'm going to do. You speak to the dry bones. All I need you to do is don't trip over the fact that these bones look very dead right now. Okay, I just don't trip over that. Don't trip over how the situation looks. Don't trip. Uh, Elijah didn't trip when the axe head fell into the water. He said, no, no, hey, we have more power over this. And he went over there, he put his stick in the water, and guess what? The axe head floated. He said, look, don't trip. Don't trip based upon what you see right now. Let's tap into this energy and let's use the power of the Most High to turn this thing around. Let's use the power of the Most High to turn this thing around. Okay. When you take the name of the Most High and the word of the Most High, and let me say this, when you know that you've lived a righteous life before the Most High, and you're not laden with guilt. Oh man, I shouldn't have did that. I shouldn't. No, you have to make sure that your conscience is good, because when your conscience, listen, when you're messed up in your consciousness and you're condemning yourself, oh, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, the energy of the Most High cannot flow out of you the way that it needs to, because it's almost like a plant. When a plant is damaged, it'll take the energy and it won't grow until it heals that part of the plant that's damaged. When you are walking in the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, and your conscience is good, you know that you've been, on point as much as you possibly could be. You feel good about it. You feel good about how you treat your brothers and sisters. You feel good about the Most High. You feel good about where you're at. You're not condemned within yourself. Then you are aligned enough to allow any unction or any power that the Most High has. You're allowing whatever word that is, you're giving it free reign to come out of you without hindrance. If there's something messed up in you, you're going to have to stop and get that right first. Okay. For individuals that walk on a high level of spirituality, here are some of the things that they do. For those who take the word of the Most High and the energy of the Most High and they change their circumstances, you know what is one of the first things that they do? They watch what they say. They don't joke around, kid around like, oh, I'm gonna just lie for no reason. No, they don't play those games. They don't play those games because they know that their words are the vehicles, if you will, to be able to put out that frequency and that energy and change things and get things done. If you listen, let me give this to you this way. If you believe and you know for a fact that you're an individual that you're lying half the time and you're telling the truth the other time, but you just, you have no problems with lying, right? Then that takes away from the power of your being able to speak out of the divine frequency and bring about change in your life and bring about change according to the word of the Most High. When you put a premium on your words enough to say, and you may not say it like this, but it enough to say, whatever I say is true and it comes to pass to the depths of my being. That is my conviction. I don't know any different, but I speak the truth. When you get momentum and practice in just letting your words be true, you will say something concerning the will of the Most High. And because you are used to speaking in truth, that word of the Most High would be enwrapped. It'll be engulfed, or it'll be wrapped in truth. And you'll know that, guess what? I speak the truth. I said it out of my mouth. And guess what? The Most High is going to do it. Just like the prophets of old, just like Elijah, right? Just like Elisha, they spoke. And these weren't men that were just, telling jokes every 5 minutes. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Did you hear what the rabbit said to the dog? I mean, they had a high level of respect for their own speech and the words that came out of their mouth, because they understood that when they spoke the word of the Most High, they had the power to bring it to pass. So therefore, they understood it was not a tool. So here is how you turn on frequencies. You turn on switches in your DNA by embracing on a quantum level, on a spiritually quantum level, right? They call it quantum physics, but it's where spirit meets matter. Okay. You turn on these switches based upon what you have intimated as their truth. You know that you speak, the words that you speak are true. You speak the words of the Most High. You follow his law, statutes, and his commandments. Okay. You spend time praising him and in his presence, right? It is then that you're on the base level, the basic level of existence, to be able to speak out of a divine intention. And as you speak it, whether it be you knowing what the will of the Most High is for your body, that it should be able to be healed in a certain area, okay? Whether it's talking to something even around your home, something that you need change, you can change the frequency and the energy of that, okay? By speaking it with the intention and the purpose that the Most High would, and it be changed. Okay. Remember, in the beginning, Elohim said, okay, he put the energy out there, the intention and the frequency, he put it out there, and he allowed it to work on a quantum level behind the scenes, and it brought forth physically. Okay. Let me just take a second here. I'm seeing my name here a couple of times. When something hits your spirit, it comes out boastfully. And you know what? It does. It does, my sister. My sister Jacqueline said that. She also says, this is an amazing reminder to walk past the physical into the spiritual. Definitely. Because the spiritual does control the physical. Okay. The spiritual definitely controls the physical. Let me put it to you. And I'm just, man, I kind of want to get into some other things. I'm trying to behave myself, but yeah. Let me. Okay, Soprano Jessie asked a very good question. She asked, can someone speak truth on behalf of others? Okay, so here's let me go here for a second. Okay, in answering that question, if you have someone in agreement with you, how can two walk together except they be agreed, right? You either have to have, as a parent, you either have to have authority over that individual. If you have children, okay, and you've altered these children, then you automatically are given authority over their lives. Now, when they reach adulthood, then it becomes a different story, because now, by them being an adult, they now have to receive everything that they put out themselves. In other words, they've got to sow and they're going to reap. They're going to put that whatever out that they want to receive back, and that's a law of the universe. The Most High will make sure that we receive what we're supposed to receive. That's the underlying truth behind eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, stripe for stripe, wound for wound, burn for burn. What the Most High is intimating is that your action is going to be met with a like reaction. And it just so happens that in judgment, here on earth, in this three-dimensional realm, in judgment, what you do, which may be negative, you're going to see that come back to you as a negative, but it also bears fruit in the positive and in the spiritual, right? That's why there's things written concerning the righteous in the scriptures, because basically you're on that energy and that path of the divine, and so you're going to receive divine things. That's why Adam and Chava had to be kicked out of the garden. They had to be kicked out of the garden because they were not able to handle the the intimate knowledge of good and evil. When they were in balance, when they had what they were supposed to have,
It's
they were
4 o'clock.
good, they were cool, right? But when they lost it and they could no longer keep their balance, they couldn't handle it. There's Jewish tradition that says that, man, that when they found out that they were naked, they were very afraid. They were experiencing some things spiritually and emotionally and mentally, and basically they just went downhill from there, from a spiritual standpoint. And so they were not able, if you will, they were not able to harmonize with Eden and to harmonize with all that the divine had, because that was on a certain level of frequency. They were way down here in this frequency of, now I'm into the physical. I'm into Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's about my survival now. It's about me. It's about number one. Okay. So they could not, because they could no longer harmonize spiritually with what Eden was, which was a divine place, a place where divine beings walked around. They could not, they weren't a match for the place. If you notice, the Most High said, look, I want you to follow my laws, statutes, and my commandments so that the land does not vomit you out. If there is a holy piece of land and you're doing unrighteously, okay, if all those people are under judgment, then others can come in and they can kind of do the same thing. But if it's a holy piece of land that is consecrated unto the Most High, and you go in doing other things, the Most High said the land is going to vomit you out. Why? Because your energy, your vibration, in other words, your spirit does not match the spirit of the land. And the Most High said it is going to vomit you out. Of its own accord, the land is going to vomit you out because it has a level of consciousness and spirituality. Okay. You don't have to go out there and talk to the dirt before you plant a seed. You plant the seed, the consciousness within that dirt will know what to do with that seed. And the consciousness within the seed will know how to interact with the dirt. And there will be a plant that will grow. Okay. You don't have to tell the dirt, come on, that dirt, I need you. Listen, I got this seed. I need you to be real nice to this seed I'm about to put in this earth. No, you don't have to do that at all, because there's a level of consciousness. The land has consciousness. Okay. The land has consciousness. The land has spirit. James Hardy asks a question. Even though it doesn't have my name on it, I'm going to go ahead and answer. Okay. James Hardy asks, could it be said that the tree of good and evil is Lucifer and the tree of life is the Lord of hosts? Yashabaoth. I have to say no. Now, here is why I say no. First of all, to put both of those, okay, let's say if that were so, you're putting both of those trees on the same level, and you're putting, Yahweh Shabaoth, Lord of hosts, on the same level as a supposed created being, Lucifer, or an angel, right? So that's the one thing that would not be equal and that would not be right. Also, according to Isaiah 45:7, the Most High said, you know what? He says, ain't nobody up here but me. There is no one up here but me. And oh, by the way, he says, I create peace, but I also create evil. Okay. Meaning I dole out justice. And if someone is deserving good, then I give them the good. If they're deserving bad, or something dysfunctional and evil, then I give them that, because that's what they deserved, that's what they earned, and so that's what they're going to have. So, um, you have to be very careful when it comes to allegorizations, and when it comes to taking the scriptures and painting them in a different light through allegories. Okay, you just have to, you just kind of have to be a little careful. You just be a little careful. Only because the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, okay, which is the intimate knowledge of good and evil, the tree that our foreparents bit off of, it was so potent and so powerful until they could not handle the fruit that they partook of. Okay, the trees are the trees. You see these trees also reemerging in Ezekiel, okay, where one tree is on one side of the river and another tree is on another side of the river, and their leaves are for the healing of the nation. These are going to be real trees, okay, in the kingdom. They're going to be real trees in the kingdom of Israel. Looking at my sister Jacqueline Bugs states or asks, when something has your spirit, I'm sorry, I read that before. Also read that. Okay, my sister Jacqueline Bugs says, this is the day that Yah has said it is time, today. My brother Adrian says, if you haven't already, can you do a song with Psalm 125? Do I have one with Psalm 125? Yeah, and I can, my brother. I definitely can. I think, you know what? Let me see. Let me. I got sidetracked just that quick. Yeah, Psalm 125. That's what I'm checking on. I'm trying to read these different comments and things. Let me look. Let me look. I thought I did do something on Psalm 125, but hey, my brother, if not, I definitely can. And thank you for asking, by the way. Thank you for asking. As I look. I did do one on Psalms 126, but you know what? I will do one for Psalm 125. Okay. I'm putting that in my little note right now so that I will not forget. Do a song for Psalm 125. All right, done deal. All right, I will work on that. Let's see. All right, so there is, I don't know if I should get into this that deep. The basics or the bottom line of you turning on and turning off certain parts of your DNA, or even changing anything in this physical three-dimensional realm, from a level of spirit, from a level of frequency, from that quantum level, the way that you change it is with the abundance of that spiritual energy in your heart coming through the heart of a righteous individual that's following the law, statutes, and commandments, one that does not have a guilty conscience, okay? One that knows that they're following the Most High the best that they know how, one who has embraced the word of the Most High for that situation. In other words, this is what the Most High has laid on my heart that he wants for this situation. When you take that energy, you allow it to come forth, and then you literally speak that thing into existence. And when you speak it, you embrace the emotion of being a reality. I'll say that again. You embrace the emotion of being a reality. In other words, you feel it, you envision it, okay? And you establish that for all purposes, this is your new reality. And you walk in the truth of that, and out of that things manifest, okay? Out of that things manifest. So yeah. That is the beginning of it. Now, for I don't know how much of this I should share. I don't know how much of this I should share, but the prophets of old, yeah, definitely my sister Jacqueline. She says, feel it, envision it, and then you will walk into it. You have to let it become your reality, okay? By the way, this is how you give birth to a new you. This is how you give birth to a new you, okay? Whatever change you want to make, you embrace it as your reality. This is now my reality, okay? And I'm talking about it being a permanent way of life. This is now my reality. And you feel it, you intone it, you allow that to be your reality, and then it will then take on a life of its own and begin to manifest, okay? So what I'm really giving you, what I'm really talking about is a very effective method of prayer, what we call prayer. Okay, because really what we call prayer, now, not all prayer is supplication. Not all prayer is supplication. Okay. Supplication is asking, asking for this or asking for that. Okay. All right. I'm not saying that there aren't any times where you will need to ask something of the Most High. Of course you will. Sometimes we don't know what his will is in the moment, right? When when the woman that was married to the Egyptian man in the beginning chapters of Exodus, when they came out of Mitzrayim and they were in the wilderness along the pathway, and they found this gentleman gathering sticks on Shabbat after he was told explicitly not to. Okay. They said, Moshe, what are we going to do with him? Moshe said, you know what? You just hold him for a minute while I go and I talk to the Most High and I see what his will is. Okay. And Moshe came back with the word of the Most High, right? But there are times when you have to inquire. And there's been times when I've had to inquire about the will of the Most High, and I've had to actually say, you know how to communicate to me. I received the answer already. I receive the answer crystal clear without any doubt or disputation. I receive it. Thank you. Now, I shared this with you before. You can do this as you're going to sleep. As you're going to sleep, if there is a problem or something that needs to be resolved, you know, people say, sleep on it. Oh, let me sleep on it. Yeah. Because what happens is while you're sleeping, your spirit is working on the solution to that problem. And I'm telling you, there's been so many times where I have awakened with an answer. This is what you need to do about that. Okay. I'm looking for things that are addressed to me. Okay. Supplication is asking, Most High, how do you want me to handle this? Dawid Hamelech went before the Most High at Ziklag and he said, do we pursue, do we fight, or do we not? I need you to let me know. Am I supposed to fight this battle or not? Okay. And the Most High then got through to him. Okay. And by the way, don't for those of you that are like, man, I mean, so am I supposed to hear the voice of the Most High? Am I supposed to hear him audibly in my ear? Am I supposed to hear? Listen. The scripture says in the book of Job, it says that the Most High will speak once, yea, twice. And in the midst of the night, the Most High will give that individual a dream and unseal their instruction. So let's say if the Most High is, hey, do this. You didn't hear me? Hey, do this. You didn't hear me? The Most High says, look, all you got to do is go to sleep. Go to sleep. Let me talk to you. I'm going to put the answer in your heart in the midst of your dream, in the midst of your sleeping. Okay? Because the Most High, he's got us. He's got our backs. Okay? He has our backs. Okay? I'm going to say this just before I kind of like switch up and kind of like let this go. Remember in Numbers 12 and 29 where, okay, Moshe was like, look, I can't do all this by myself, man. It's crazy. Man, I can't do all this. The Most High said, hey, listen to your father, Yithro. Give me 70 men. Come on up here to the mountain. 70 men, y'all come on up here to the mountain. All of them got together, went up there. And the Most High put of the spirit that was upon Moshe on all of the other 70. Okay. And they began to prophesy. They began to speak forth the word of the Most High. Okay. Now, in Numbers 12 and 29, someone came back to Moshe and said, Moses, get them, because they still over there prophesying. And Moshe said, are you really that concerned for me, or is something else going on here? He said, look, let me let you in on a secret. I would that all of Yah's people were prophets. What was Moshe saying? If all the people of the kingdom of Israel, if all the people of Israel walked in their prophetic charge, not office. If you're a prophet, then you walk in a prophet's office. But all of us can walk with a prophetic charge. What do you mean by that? With a charge to operate and maneuver as a prophet would by speaking the word of the Most High into situations and demanding change. speaking into the energy behind, speaking into the frequency behind the atoms so that the atoms change. Okay, so that physical existence change, so that DNA changes. I'm talking about standing flat-footed, taking authority and the power of the Most High and speaking positively into situations and transforming and changing the very energy and power behind that physical thing so that it harmonizes with the will of the Most High in your life. And I'm talking about you speaking into those situations as a prophetic individual, which is why, listen, that's why Navi Beit is called what it is. Navi Beit University is Prophet House University. Understanding that it's not just for those who may be called, feel like they're called to the order of the prophets, okay? But it's for those who want to walk with a prophetic charge, okay? Meaning that you are saying, I'm going to take the power of the Most High that He's given me and His word, and I'm going to transform my world, my situations, even my own body. Okay, even my own body. I'm going to transform my own body by speaking His word that I find in the Tanakh over my life and watching it transform. That's different than someone walking around and just begging the Most High every time you turn around. It's a different spirit. It's a different energy. Please give me this. Please give me this. Please. Will you please give me this? Please. That's different than according to your will, according to the word that you have spoken to me, this thing is so. Boom, done. It's a big difference. It's a big difference. Repentant and Save asks a question. She says, is that age 20 years old for accountability? No, it's not 20 years of age. Now, this is something that is somewhat controversial in that some people want to establish a given age, like at the age of 13, which is when they have the bar mitzvahs and the bat mitzvahs, okay, for the daughters. They have the bar mitzvahs and the bat mitzvahs because they're supposed to be, like bar mitzvah, that's son of the law, bat mitzvah, daughter of the law or daughter of the commandments, okay? That's supposed to be the line of demarcation that says that you are definitely under the age of accountability. One thing we learned from reading Isaiah, the 7th chapter, and the sign and the prophecy that the Most High, the sign that the Most High had given. He says that before the child. Now let me go there real quick because I want you to see this, because this speaks into the age of accountability. Okay. And I just want to point this out to you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we would be going to Isaiah, the 7th chapter, and we know what certain individuals use this verse for. Okay, but let's look at it with the eyes of truth. Okay. So Isaiah, when we look at it, let me read this. Verse number 14, 7 and 14. Therefore, Yah himself will give you a sign. Behold, a young woman has conceived and is bearing a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. Now, verse 16. For before the child shall know to refuse the evil and choose the good, aka the age of accountability, the land that you hate shall be forsaken of both her kings. Okay. Now, what I want to point out to you is that when we take a look at verse number 14, okay, it says that she is going to bear a son. Okay. Meaning that this is going to be a man child, right? But then as we continue, it mentions in verse number 16, it says that this is going to be a child, but it uses the Hebrew word na'ar. Okay? Na'ar. And it means a lad of adolescent age. Okay? It could also mean a young man or even a fellow servant or an attendant, but it means a lad or an adolescent. So we're talking about someone who is, for some, it could come sooner. Others, it may be a little later. There is no set time, if you will, but it mentions a lad. It mentions an adolescent. We know adolescents to be around the ages, anywhere from around the age of like 12 to, I don't know what, 15, 16, right? So if we give it at least, let's say 16, okay? Even though there is no set time or set number of years for accountability, I think that it's different based upon individuals being aware and knowing what the will of the Most High is. Okay. Good point, Soprano Jesse. Good point. So the Most High wanted them to know that when that child gets to be of adolescent age, this situation with these nations and these kings, it's all going to be over with. Okay. That's what the sign was about. But out of that, yes, there is an age of accountability. It is when that person is a lad or an adolescent. Soprano Jesse says, Isaiah gives a prophecy about a child knowing right and wrong. Child eats honey, butter, and curds. Babies under 1 year old can't eat honey. Okay. So we're really talking about a child that's, we're not talking about anyone that's 3 years old. We're not talking about, we're not talking about some young little baby in diapers. We're talking about someone that's a lad, someone that's an adolescent, someone who's growing up. All right. I don't see. Yeah. And by the way, that is saying before he reaches that age of accountability. Right? It's saying that before that, this situation is going to be dealt with. So some have said that the age, I think the Catholics hold the age of accountability to be around 7. Others hold it to be later, of course. All right. Okay. So, all right. Well, I'm answering questions, and I think that is, I'm pretty much done. I have mentioned quite a few things, and thank you all for putting the scriptures down there. Thank you, my sister. So, hey, listen, I wanted to come on because I really did miss you guys. I missed you. I missed my family. And so we're going to try to make this, we're going to get back into the regular pattern, going to get back into the regular habit. Soon, I think I will be able to get to the studio and it'll be normal, natural, like we normally have it. Right now, I'm coming to you out of my home where I'm laid up with this leg, but we are doing just fine. We're making progress. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High for that. All right. Are there any other questions? Any other questions before we allow you to get to the rest of your Shabbat? Okay, Jacqueline E. Bugs. Now, that's actually a good question. I think I did address this question before, but this is what my sister asked. For those of you watching that, you're not in the chat room, you really should hop in the chat room. You really should smash that like button and you really should subscribe. Okay. This is what my sister asked, Jacqueline E. Bug. She says, hey, can we speak in tongues? Have you answered this question before? Now, when it comes to speaking in tongues or glossolalia, which is what it's called theologically, you'll find out that while the Christian church has glossolalia or speaking in tongues in a headlock, and the Pentecostals feel like, you know what? Hey, this is for us. No, listen, they have hijacked a spiritual exercise, if you will. Now, please hear me. When it comes to speaking in tongues, this is what I find. People will carry the baggage from their old religions into this subject. Invariably, if they were Baptists who were taught against it, they will hold that, oh, no, we don't believe in that. If they were Pentecostals that grew up with it, they'd be like, oh, yeah, we can do that. People bring, when it comes to speaking in tongues, they bring their old baggage in, and they then just kind of continue with that same dogma, if you will, that they brought from their particular church. Okay. But now, what do we know? What do we know from an experiential standpoint? Okay. What do we know from an experiential standpoint? We know beyond the shadow of a doubt that when you look at it historically, when you look at what mankind has done historically, you will find out and you will discover that despite the spiritual walk, there has always been the phenomenon of speaking in tongues. Okay. From the oracles of Delphi to the ancient Egyptians to others, long story short, Kanai Israel says, I don't do that anymore. I stopped that 8 years ago. We must be careful with that. Definitely we do. Because many people think that automatically, since you're speaking in another tongue or you're having a supernatural experience, that it's automatically good, right? I have been in situations where spiritual entities have mocked and covered themselves in light, covered themselves in even a level of joy and happiness, only to make your acquaintance. And once you connect with, man, I'm telling y'all too much. But once you connect with them, they switch up. Okay. I had that happen to me. Okay. I had that happen to me. And you're right, my brother Adrian. Yes. Witches also speak in tongues. Yes, they do. They also speak in tongues. Man, maybe I shouldn't write another book because I could tell you all some stories. Wait, what is? I'm trying to get what my brother's saying here. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting the entirety of that statement correct, but anyway, um, my sister Jacqueline E. Bug says, I was in a prophet's house. It is strange. I am again in a prophet's house. Haha. So, I mean, that is just something that is akin to spirituality. Okay. And it doesn't mean, again, it does not mean that because a person speaks in tongues that they're entertaining a good spirit. That does not mean that. But the practice itself is beyond Christianity. It's beyond any particular religion. It's been a part of spirituality ever since we can remember. And I mean everything from the stumbling backwards to, people so-called being slain in the spirit and all that. Listen, there is nothing new under the sun. There is nothing new under the sun. There really is nothing new. Okay. Yeah, she said that's what we're about to say. And I mean, there's a. See, let me not even go there. Let me not go there. But I don't like when people. I don't know. I don't know. Let me just leave that alone. I mean, I listen. Okay, let me just say this. I've seen some people do some foolish stuff. Okay, like for instance, there's this video where Kenneth Copeland and some other guy, they're supposedly having a conversation with each other, speaking in tongues. And I mean, it's just foolishness. It is foolishness. You talk about a circus. It is just simply foolishness. So, long story short, it is something that yet goes on today. So, are there any more questions for me? Are there any more questions? Okay. Yeah. Let's see what's addressed to me. And I would want to say when it comes to the Most High, right? Show me in the Tanakh where people are speaking in tongues. Show me in the Tanakh where it is mentioned that people are speaking in tongues. Okay. All right. I don't see any other questions. So again, I have to I got to invoke Isaiah 8 and 20, that because they do not speak according to this law and this testimony, there is no light in them. There is no light in them. All right. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes. Y'all, I got the chance to play the piano for the first time today, and I don't know how long it's been. What, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks? Man, it felt good. It felt good. It felt good. All right, all right. Well, hey, I don't see any other questions. So, hey, I want to thank each and every one of you for spending this time with me. Thank you once again for giving me your time and your attention. I pray that the Most High blesses you, that He keeps you, that He watches over you. And I pray that you have a blessed week. I pray that you enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. And I pray that the Most High be with you, that He make His face to shine upon you, and that you be blessed coming in, that you be blessed going out, and that you be blessed in everything that you put your beautiful hands unto, that you put your strong hands unto, my brother. Hey, I pray that the Most High bless you and keep you and watch over you. And I pray that you have a deep, intense spiritual experience where the Most High helps you to activate and to turn on certain parts of your DNA, and that you walk in His will, and that you walk in step and in tune with His will for your life, that you don't miss a step, you don't miss a beat. You're right in sync with Him, you're right in tune with Him, and the Most High has His hand upon you, and you are the apple of His eye. May the Most High bless each and every one of you. I appreciate. Listen, I love you all. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for those of you that are new to the room, that visited us. Please subscribe. Please join us. It does get better than this. Hey, when I get back to the studio, it's going to be a much better, much better feel. So listen, I love you all. I really do. I missed you. I wanted to come on. And hey, y'all willing, we will. By the way, we did not decide what book we want to start on. Okay. During the week, we did not decide what book we want to start on. If there aren't any more suggestions. Yeah, my brother Adrian, he says no sustain pedals. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a little different for right now, but hey, once we get back into the studio, it will be great. It'll be grand. And Josh and Penny, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for helping. Thank you for what you do. My brother Bergen Paris, peace and blessings to you, my brother. You know I love you. You know you're my guy. You know I love you. Um, Thank you. I got to read this from my sister Jacqueline. She says, "We see that you have had much communication with the Most High, and am inspired with your strengthened awareness." Yeah, thank you very much, my sister. Yeah, yeah. May the Most High continue to bless us both. Right? Okay, okay. My sister Hanai Israel says Shemot and Bamidbar. We can definitely do that. Yep, yep. Soprano Jesse. Um, doesn't the Hebrew word for prophesy and prophecy mean to sing? It's interesting because when you look at the Hebrew, like whether you're reading it, regardless to what book you're reading it out of, whether it's the Nevi'im or the Ketuvim, or if it's uh, it just doesn't matter. Even the Torah, you will see that added to the Nakud, added to the Nakud are cantonation marks. What do I mean? Well, we know what cantonation is, right? Para cantar in Espanol is to sing. Cantonation are basically, they are marks to help individuals sing, okay, and what to do and how to inflectuate and how to so forth and so on. Those marks are already in the Hebrew because the Hebrew is meant to be sung. It really is. It's meant to be sung. And it's meant to be sung because, again, it's about the vibration and the intonation. And it's about taking that energy and infecting that, putting that energy into what you're changing. Okay. So there is definitely a correlation there. There's a correlation there, even when you consider how Shmuel, how Samuel would prophesy. When you notice that when Samuel went into the neighborhood to anoint David, right? He came into Jesse's neighborhood to anoint his son David, but notice he came with a minstrel. The prophets came with minstrels, okay? In the school of the prophet, they had minstrels. I mean, it's in the word. It's in the word. When when Samuel sent Saul, he said, "You know what? You're going to have some people coming from the upper chamber, and you're going to have these minstrels coming down, and you're going to begin to prophesy." Well, it is connected with music. It is connected with frequency. Okay. Let's see here. My brother Adrian says, Admiral, if there are no suggestions, can we cover the Torah portion for the week? That is a good idea. That is a good idea. We could definitely do that. Yeah. So you're right. There is a definite connection between um, the prophetic word and the intonation that comes by singing or cantonization. Definitely, definitely. Um, Let me consider something else here while we. I'm just going to give it just a few more minutes. Make sure that no one has any other questions. But I'm also going to look up something else. Um, all right, give me just a second here. Okay. I'm looking. All right. Well, peace and blessings, my brothers and sisters. I guess everyone is fine. I'm not going to drag it out by keep waiting. Hey, so peace and blessings to you. I love you all. I love you all. Yah willing, we will see you this upcoming Wednesday. Yah willing. All right. And we'll let you know what we're going to do then at that time. So peace and blessings to you, my brothers and my sisters. I love you. If you have not subscribed, please strongly consider subscribing to the channel. You're helping us to get the word of the Most High out to those that need it, and you're helping us to help others. So please subscribe to this channel, and also hit the like button as well. Share this video with others. It helps to keep me out of YouTube timeout. And so thank you for your help. I appreciate you. My brothers and my sisters, you are blessed coming in. You are blessed going out. I bless you. I say nothing but kind and good words about you. May the Most High smile upon you. Shabbat Shalom.